Hi everyone, my name is Julia Tang. I'm a physical therapist at Breakthrough Physical Therapy, and I'm here today with a 20-minute balance workout. So the format of this workout is going to be a quick, short warm-up just to warm up your core and your balance muscles. Then we're going to go through 3 rounds, increasing in difficulty. So round 1 will be the kind of easiest level, although it's still pretty challenging. Round 2 is going to be intermediate, so it'll be the next level up from round 1. And round 3 is going to be the most advanced. And for round 3, we're actually going to use a physioball or exercise ball. So if you have one of these, go ahead and grab that. But if you go through round 1 and decide that's hard enough, that's totally fine. You can just stop there and repeat round 1 3 times. If you get to round 2 and decide that, whoa, okay, that's enough there, then you can stop at round 2 and repeat that again instead of going on to round 3. But if you're really hungry for a challenge, you can join me in round 3 where we're going to tackle some really advanced balance exercises. Okay? So, with that explanation done, let's get to the balance workout. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start off with is just a quick little warm-up. So it's just going to be 4 exercises. We're going to do single leg balance on one leg, on the other leg, a plank, and then a side plank on each side just to warm up the core a little bit and warm up your balance muscles. So, let me get my timer here. And the first one is just going to be standing on one leg. So go ahead and lift up one leg. So a few tips here. You want to be looking straight ahead at something at a point that doesn't move, probably about eye level. That'll help you keep your balance. Another thing is you want to be pressing down through 3 points in your foot. Really ground down through your foot, underneath the ball of your big toe, underneath the ball of your pinky toe, and in the middle of your heel. We call that tripod foot, so really press down in those 3 points of your foot. Go ahead and switch sides. So if you find yourself flailing a lot for balance, it's okay. You can tap a toe down, that's fine. Or you can just use one finger on a chair or a wall or something to give you a little bit of support. That's also fine. But you want to do the best you can, engage your core, use your hips to keep your pelvis level. Just keep yourself nice and upright. Like there's a string drawing through the top of your head. And just hold your balance here. So we're coming down to the ground for a plank. You can do this on your elbows or your hands. I'm going to start out on my elbows here. So make sure your hips are nice and level. You don't want to sag you back. You don't want to be a mountaintop. So just hold a nice strong plank. If you have to, you can come up to your hands if this is more comfortable. Or if this is too much, you can also do a plank on your hands and knees. Or you can do elbows and knees. Choose which variation works for you. Next one is side plank. So again, you can start on your elbow and your feet. If you feel like that's a little bit much, you can always do your knees and your elbow as well. But you just choose the variation that works for you. And then keep even breathing here. So use those core muscles. Go ahead and switch sides. This is going to be the last one. So again here, you can also start on your elbow and on your feet. And then if halfway through you decide, oh, this is maybe a little bit much for a warm-up, you can always come down to your knees. As long as you're keeping your body in a nice straight line here. You want your shoulder to your knee to be a straight line. Keep that core engaged, keep steady breathing. And that's it for the warm-up. Let's get into the workout. Okay, so we're going to start off with round 1 here, and we have kind of 4 different groups of exercises to do for round 1. So the first one is going to be standing on one leg. You're going to lift your leg forward, out to the side, back, and to the inside. And we'll keep going around. We'll do that on both sides. The second one is going to be a half kneeling in line, kind of lunge position. So you're going to be kneeling on the ground. Your front foot is going to be right in front of your back knee and also right in line with your back foot. So you're just going to hold this position here. We'll also do that on both sides. The next one is going to be a bird dog. So it'll be on all fours, opposite hand and opposite leg lift. So really keep your core engaged here and lengthen through that hand and that leg. And then the last group is going to be a single leg RDL. So you want your whole body in line for this. You're going to tip, hinge at the hips, come forward as far as you can, come back up, and your back and your lifted leg should be totally in line throughout that movement. Your standing leg straight, but a little bit soft. Don't lock it up, okay? So, let me get my timer here, and we will start it up. All right, so the first one, stand on one leg, lift forward to the outside, lift back, and to the inside. So this is going to throw you off balance a little bit by moving that lifted leg. We're just going to keep going around in all four directions. Still think about pressing down through the ground in that tripod foot. Those 3 points beneath your big toe, your little toe, and your heel. Keep your core tight and keep breathing. It's really hard to balance if you don't have any oxygen. So, got to keep that brain working. Okay, go ahead and shake it out, and we'll switch sides. So forward, to the outside, back, and to the inside. So this is just round one, level one here. This is going to get progressively harder throughout the rounds. But for now, just focus on grounding down through that foot, keeping yourself nice and upright like there's a string pulling through the top of your head. Almost done here. Okay, you're going to come down to the ground in that half kneeling inline lunge. So just hold here. You can use your arms for balance if you need to. If you really can't hold this balance here, you can bring your foot out a little bit, give yourself a little bit wider base of support, but really work towards getting that foot in line with your back knee, in line with your back foot. And so if you start wiggling around a lot, that's okay. Just try and regain your balance. Do the best you can. Keep breathing. Use your core here. Draw yourself up like there's a string in the top of your head pulling you up. Go ahead and switch sides. Front knee over your front foot, right in front of your back foot and your back knee. I have the benefit of having nice lines in my exercise mat here, so I know that I'm in a right line, or that I'm in a nice straight line. But if you have a mirror, that's usually really helpful. Or one thing, since I've been doing a lot of Zoom workouts recently, if you just pull up a Zoom video, you can basically use that as a mirror, which is really nice. So some benefits of having all these video calls nowadays. All right, then we're going to come down to the ground, bird dog. So extend your front arm with your opposite back leg. Keep your core tight. You don't want to be arching here. Keep that core engaged. Use your glute to lift that back leg right in line with your body. If that's too hard, you can just do the arms, or you can just do the legs. But try to get both in there. If you have to, you can slide your back foot along the ground. All right, and then back up into that single leg RDL. There we go. So keep that back leg all the way in line with your trunk. Your standing leg is straight but soft. You don't want your shoulders to slump forward. So shoulders back, core engaged. If you can only get to here while keeping your back straight, that's fine. As soon as you start getting like this, you got to come out of it. So you can only go as low as you can while keeping your back leg in line with your back. All right, we're going to switch sides. So same thing, standing leg soft but straight. Sometimes it helps if you use one finger on a chair or table. Again, if you can only tip over to here before your back starts to go without your leg, then shorten it up just in this range, okay? This is a big leg exercise, core exercise, glutes, working on that hip hinge, working on your balance. This is one of my favorite exercises. All right, and that was the end of round 1. Now we're going to level up to round 2. Okay, so now we're ready for round 2. So round 2 is just going to be the next level up from that first round 1. So the first exercise we're going to be doing is a single leg squat, bringing your leg forward and back. So this just adds an extra element. We'll do that on both sides. The next exercise is going to be kneeling in line, that half kneeling position. But now we're going to add a little bit of trunk rotation. So that's also going to increase the core challenge and the balance challenge. We'll do that on both sides. To level up the bird dog, we're going to do it in a plank position. So Superman plank. So you're on your hands and toes. Lift your opposite arm, opposite leg off the ground at the same time. This is really going to challenge that core and challenge your balance. Then with the single leg RDLs, we'll do a single leg RDL, come up, and then get into a side star position, tilt to the side, come up. So single leg RDL, and then have a side star tilt here. Okay, so that's going to be round 2. So get my timer here, and we'll start it up, starting with those single leg squats, forward and back. So lift that leg, bring it in front, squat down, bring it up, and then in the back. So really try and keep your knees stable here. Squeeze those glute muscles. You don't want your leg wiggling all around. As soon as your knee starts wavering, that's where you get into trouble. That's an injury risk. So you want to keep everything nice and stable here. Keep your core engaged. Slow down and slow up. Okay, so we're going to do it from the side here so you can kind of see. Sitting back into your hips. Try and keep your front knee behind your front toe. And when you bring your leg to the front, really shift those hips back. When you bring your leg back, keep that back shin parallel to the ground as much as you can. If you can get lower than me, that's great. If you can get into a full pistol squat in the front, you can do that too. The back, try and get your back leg 1 inch off the ground, keeping it parallel. Okay, so then we're going to switch into our half kneeling inline lunge with rotation. So rotate one way, rotate the other way. So I'm not rotating too far here, only about like 45 degrees each direction, which is totally fine. You want to be keeping your hips facing straight forward, but your trunk, your chest, and your shoulders rotate while your hips stay square to the front. Ooh. Get a little wobble here and there, that's fine. Just recover. All right, we're going to switch sides. And I have a nice line on the floor here. Start up that rotation. So really try and get those feet in line. If you want to add the rotation but can't quite stay in line, you can walk your foot out a little to the side. That's okay, do what you can, but as much as you can, work to get that foot, your front foot, in line with your back knee and foot. Keeping your core totally nice and upright. Like that string still drawing through the top of your head. Just rotate side to side. All right, now come down onto the ground. Into that plank position. Opposite arm, opposite leg lifts. And try and lift your arm and your leg at the same time. It is pretty challenging. Just do the best you can. As you can see, I'm struggling a little bit here. Sometimes you tilt, but we're challenging ourselves. There's no point in doing things that are easy. That's what I like to say. Gotta challenge yourself to get better. Ooh, okay. Alright, and then back up. Single leg RDL to side tilt. So single leg RDL. Keeping that back leg in line. Arms and legs out. Side tilt as far as you can. So your lifted leg should always be in line with your trunk. Same thing with the side star here. Your leg should be in line with your trunk. Whoop. So just hold your balance as much as you can. If you have to tap down, that's okay. Try and make it as smooth and steady as possible, but nobody's perfect. Okay, so then we're going to switch sides. I'll show you from the side. So that single leg RDL, you want your back leg in line with your trunk. Side star. Keep everything as in line as you can. And if you can only tilt a little bit forward and a little bit to the side, ooh, that's fine. Everybody wobbles a little bit like that. Really try and keep everything as stable as possible. You'll really feel it in your side here. Trying to keep that lifted leg in line with your body. All right, and that is the end of round 2. So now we're going to move on to round 3, level 3, the most advanced for this. Okay, so for round 3, we're going to use a little bit more equipment. So this is where that physioball or that exercise ball is going to come in handy. But this is going to be the most advanced. So again, if you just want to repeat level 1 or level 2, that's fine. But if you're ready for extra challenge, you can move on here with me. So the exercises, the first exercise is going to be that same single leg squat, but instead of going forward and back, we'll go forward, and then to the outside, then to the back, and then kind of back and to the inside. So incorporating that first 4-way excursion into the single leg squat. So we'll do that on both sides. The next one, instead of the inline half kneeling lunge, we're going to get in a kneeling position on the physio ball, and then you're going to rotate both directions. So only one round of this one, since we're going to rotate in both directions here. And the next one, instead of that Superman on the floor, we're going to get into a bird dog position on the physio ball. So good luck. So you're just going to raise one arm, the other arm, and then this is the challenge, one leg, and then the other leg. So this one is really going to challenge your balance. And then the last 2 that we'll do is going to be a single leg RDL, but you're going to open up into a half moon position, and then close, and then come back up. So we'll do that on both sides. So come here, rotate your hips open, close, and come up. And as you can see, I'm already struggling. So this is going to be a fun one. So let me get my timer here, and we'll get started. So starting off with that single leg squat. So forward, to the outside, to the back, and then kind of back into the inside. So again, you can do a full pistol, so all the way down, come back up, to the outside, to the back, and to the inside. You don't have to do the full pistol. You can go kind of as far down as you can in the front. And same thing, try and keep your knee behind your front toe. Okay, so we're going to switch sides, shake it out. So forward, you can drop into the full pistol, out to the side, to the back. Really sink your hips down, keep your weight in your heel, to the inside and back. Oops. So a little tap down here and there is fine, it happens. Outside, to the back and inside. It's kind of like a little curtsy there. So just keep going around, all 4 directions. Good. All right, now we're going to get our ball for that kneeling trunk rotation. So rotate as far as you can, both ways. You can start with it pretty small. Just get your balance. This is really going to work your core. And I have the top of my toes kind of on the ball in the back. So if you have longer legs than me, which probably isn't hard because my legs are pretty short, you might have a little bit even harder time balancing on the ball because I'm using my feet for stability. Next one, you're going to go lift one arm, lift the other arm, lift one leg. This is where the challenge comes in. And lift the other leg. You can just stick with the arms here, or you can do the legs, just the legs. The legs are actually much more challenging than the arms. So this is where that core is really going to have to work. One more here. All right. So now we're going for that single leg RDL plus the hip roll. So if you're more balanced than me, you can open up your arm. I'm just going to rotate my hips. And I'm already struggling with that as is. But some people are really balanced. You can open up your arm, come back down. Oh, I kind of surprised myself there. So maybe I'll try that one. Because we want to be challenged. So, oops, there we go. Need a little tap down. So use that glute. Okay, so we'll switch sides here. So come down, open up. Whoop. So I need a little tap there. That's okay. Gotta challenge ourselves to get better. So rotate up, rotate down, yikes. Come back up. So open up the hips, stack your hips, rotate back down, come back up. So this is a hard one. All right, and that is it. That was round 3, the most advanced level. So you have now just completed your 20-minute balance workout. Great job! Thank you for joining me and hope to see you next time.